so welcome back to another episode of Group 901. This time, this is episode two. Episode two, we're going to talk about what is a great starter Porsche. Which Porsche should you go for? Should you go for a GT3 RS on the no? Should you get a
JR, hold
911?
on for a second. Is it Porsche or Porsche? Dude, we've been doing this like over and over again. Seriously, bro.
All right, okay, fine.
There you go.
Okay,
Take a swing. Take a swing.
All right, take a sip, buddy. Take a sip.
hit the counter
Got
again.
this guy.
Count me down, Andy.
All right, we're
Oh,
back.
but leave that in, bro. Leave that in. That's awesome.
You can't cut that out. Just let you leave it in.
Count us down again, damn it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and Kurt's missing. Let's go.
Okay. There you go.
Welcome back to another episode. This is episode 2 for our YouTube channel, Group 901. This particular episode is going to talk about what's a great starter Porsche. Boy, damn it.
Leave that on, bro. Leave that on. Leave that on. Leave that on. Okay,
do
for
it.
our
So
viewers,
everybody, you
right.
know that I
Hey,
have a problem. You know I have a
He
problem
can't
with
pronounce
saying
it right. It is
for
what
our
it is.
viewers, everyone, it is Porsche. Starter Porsche.
yeah.
Porsche.
Porsche, excuse
Porsche.
me. So, yes, what is a great starter Porsche? Now, actually, I said it right because if we're talking about starter Porsches, our audience does not have a Porsche yet or a Porsche yet, so they refer to it as Porsche. Okay, so anyway,
Okay.
Unless you did the
let's get away from the
research.
particulars in particular, okay? That doesn't make sense. But yes, let's talk about a great starter Porsche. So I will start off. And of course, you know, I'm completely biased because if you look back there, that is my choice, the Porsche 944. The reason why I say that the Porsche is the best, 944 is the best in particular, is because of its accessibility for maintenance. Now, depending on which Porsche you want, you can get a brand new Porsche, but I doubt most people are going to, at this point, spend over, 100K or 90. I mean, the prices have got insane. Maybe you want to just have a secondary car, right? So that this car can have a problem. You probably already still have your Toyota Prius or whatever, right? And so now you're going to eventually become a man and get a real car like a Porsche. But with the 944 in
Damn, bro.
particular,
Where's that coming from?
I'm just saying, you know,
where's
Toyota
that
people,
coming from, bro?
Tacoma, Prius, Tacoma, 4Runner, all same thing. All same stuff.
Forerunners.
We're gonna have a Toyota episode just because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's earned it. I think.
Okay,
I
you
think
earned it, bro.
Okay,
He's
getting
earned
back-
it.
But getting back to the
He's
point,
earned it.
The awesome thing about the 944
Just 'cause
is
they
you don't
didn't
have to
like
take apart the engine you don't have to drop the engine out of the car. You don't have to do weird things. It's set up somewhat like a traditional sports car, where the engine is actually in the front. The spark plugs are in line for the distributor cap and is right there in the front for you. I'm making this conversation now. You know, the thing that you have to deal with, of course, different from a normal car, is the transmission is mounted in the back. There's a torque tube. So if you're not used to driving manuals, you're going to probably burn up your clutch and have a really expensive maintenance situation.
And you do have to
See,
connect
why is the captain, which is sure, we can't see your captain's uniform, but why is the captain laughing over there? Like, what's up with you, bud?
Someone might have blown his clutch. I don't know.
Oh shit!
You know what's
We can-
funny is that JR is recommending the 944, and all 3 of the 944s are down.
I'm back up
There
as
you
of
go.
today.
There you go.
Well, all that
But
details.
wait, I'd like to add something. If you're gonna get a 944, get a pre 85 and a half, because the pre 85s and a half use a lot of VW parts. Like for example, the control arms, the ones that are mine, which is 85 and a half, are like $2,000 because they're cast aluminum. And if it would have been pre 85, it would have used the same Volkswagen's one, which are like $100 each or something
I
for the
got
whole
paid
thing.
79 or 80.
So that brings us to the Porsche tax, right? It's
Yeah.
a real thing. It's a real thing.
100%.
But
So
Mhm.
no matter
That's why I
what
think it's a
car,
perfect
no matter
mix
what
between-
car you get, right? Whether you get a 944, whether you get a Boxer, whether you get a 911, forget about the 911, right? But the Porsche tax is a real thing. So those parts become expensive. So that's something to consider whether you're buying a cheap one or an expensive one, right? So that's one of the things to talk about.
That's actually a good point. Sorry, I think that's a really good point because a lot of folks when we think of your first intro card of just blank brand, right? You're thinking of the value of the vehicle. Maybe if you're savvy, you're thinking of the longevity of the investment. Like, oh, what is this car going to be worth an XYZ amount of time? But a lot of times, what you don't think about is the maintenance of the product and the reliability of it all. I think for me, I tend to go for something that is reliable but still holds its value. I tend to like a lot of the Caymans. I think they're just so much car for the money. I think in terms of modern night, kind of style vehicle, the 986 Boxster comes to mind. That's such a great car, and those are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Now, but to your point, they might be cheaper, but there is definitely a Porsche tax there. So what you
Yeah.
save, you might be buying Miata prices for a box or base Boxster model from the early 2000s, but you're going to spend a lot more than you would on a Miata, for example. So that's just like throwing that out there.
All the parts are on the 986 are essentially 911 parts, 996 parts.
Yep.
Right.
Correct.
And
correct.
they're totally interchangeable.
Sorry,
So-
I don't want to interrupt you. Keep going, but Kurt, can you your face is a little bit bring more of your body. There we go.
There you go.
Okay, because you're it was a lot of we can't see. There we go. We couldn't see that stash, bro. Continue, Frank. I'm sorry.
Well, no, going on that point. So when you're talking about the Porsche, right? So this episode's all about what's a great entry point car, right? And we discussed about entry points are different for different people, right?
Correct.
You've got people that have a ton of money that their entry point is a GT3 or an air-cooled at $60,000, $70,000, or a 930 turbo is their first Porsche. And then you have the normal folk, where you want to get into something, a Boxer, a Cayman, and you still get that Porsche experience. My first one was a 986S, and I paid $7,500 for it. I still have it to today. You can see in the screen behind me where I upgraded to that, and even that car was a bargain, right? So you have to find the bargains that are still out there, and how much are you willing to take a risk on these cars, right? So the first thing you got to think about is the affordability, right? Mm-hmm. What can you afford? That's
true.
Number one. Not so much the driving experience, because you haven't driven it yet, right? Unless you have friends that have Porsches and you're like, okay, because there's the rear engine, there's the mid engine, right? And then there's the front engine, transaxle and all that stuff. So unless you've been inside each car and driven it, you really don't know which one you're going to like, right?
So that's a point I wanted to bring up to you guys, because as I was thinking about this and I was kind of going through it the week, I'm like, I thought about it from value. I thought about it from the maintenance point, but then I had to take a quick second and realize, what about the experience that is? Some people are looking for a specific experience as an entry level, and that's their ideology of the brand, specifically Porsche. It tends to revolve around the 911 and the air-cooled experience, and that's for a lot of people is what they want to get into, that specific experience. Is there something in that realm that you guys would say, if you want X experience, I recommend this versus that?
I'm going to say, and I'll let you go, Javon, right after this, real quick, though. The key word is entry level, right? You don't want to buy a GT3 RS if you were talking entry level, because you don't have anything to graduate to. You have nowhere to go. Well, I've done it all. So to be honest with you, when I had 944s, 3 of them, before I ever bought a 911, I was actually slightly disappointed in the 911 when I got it. I felt like the handling was completely different because I was used to the neutrally balanced weight distribution, the rotation in mid corner, that whole feeling. And then when I got the 911, it honestly, it drove a little bit like a Jeep Wrangler to me, because it felt like I was sitting more on the rear.
Get a lot of hate comments right now.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
Look,
as a matter of fact, I'm going to put one
Hey,
together myself.
Oh yeah!
Hey.
Oh, JR, look at this, buddy.
Boo this guy. No wonder Toyota let him go.
Hey, Kurt, just talk. Don't raise the. You don't have to raise your hand because it'll put a little thing over our faces. But just talk, bro.
So look, all your points are very valid, right? In my case, when I started, so I'll tell you what I started with. So I started with a 986, and sorry, 996 rather, 996 Porsche. However, if I could do it all over again, my own personal entry level cars for me either would be a 986 Boxster or a 981 or the Cayman, first gen Cayman, right? Because again, it's all about that experience. And for me, I'm a little old school. I want to graduate to things. So yeah, how it worked out with my 911, my first 911 experience was I had a price point that I said, okay, I want to get a car with this budget. And as I told you guys in the first episode, I was looking at C6 Corvettes, and I said, okay, that's my price point. I found my 996 way under that, and that's how I got into the hobby. So.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point because I'm in the same boat. I got into it with the 996, and a lot of it had to do with the value for money. It was the cheapest 911. I wanted a 911. I wanted that rear engine experience. I had a taste of it, like I mentioned in the previous episode, through my experience with my dad and whatnot. And so for me, it's like I wanted that experience. I wanted that having that experience, but I couldn't afford. But yeah, but I couldn't do the SC because for me, and to Javon's point, I felt like it was out of my depth. I felt like you had to have a community, you had to know people. I didn't know anybody. I was coming from a different brand,
Well,
the
I'll
Beamer
tell
brand.
you what, I didn't know and we're gonna the whole community thing is gonna be an episode in itself, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know a community existed, right?
Right.
I bought
Agreed.
the Boxer because I liked the car because there was an old lady in that whole story. How I got my hands on it, right? And but
Frank, just curious, because
comment that in the chat.
We know from the first episode you lowballed this widow, right?
Yeah,
and I think that's in everybody's mind.
Yeah.
However,
I did.
You mentioned today, you bought the car for $7,500.
Yes.
So how much did she list it for?
I don't even know. It was not for sale. It was not for sale. Okay, so I was looking at Boxers. I was looking at Boxers on online. I didn't know anything about I knew the brand, right?
Wait a second.
And I knew I couldn't afford a 911 because I was looking and I was like, oh, I forget about that. I don't even know if I want to. I don't even know if I like this brand or if I like the cars or whatever. So that car wasn't for sale, so it wasn't listed anywhere. So Boxers were going for 8,500, 9,000, 10,000, depending.
Where? How did you get a Boxster for $7,500? This is what I want to know.
Boxster S.
Boxster S.
You know what, man?
Because I
this is not lowball.
I played on her emotions. Let's get it all out.
You're incriminating yourself at this point. We're gonna find that widow and we're gonna tell her to press charges. $7,500 for a Boxster S in 2021 is ridiculous.
Yeah. And nothing wrong with the car. I got in it, I washed it, and I drove it. So back to the point, right, of like community, right?
Yeah.
There's a huge community.
Very.
And I've met all of you, and I've met so many other friends through it. But that's not why I bought the car. I bought the car because I wanted the car, right? And I was able to get it at a very cheap price. But now there's pros and cons to each model, right? Now that I'm in the environment and that I've educated myself and I've done research, each model has pros and cons, right? There's cost, right? There's cost. Then there's IMS and bore scoring and all kinds of maintenance, all everything that goes with owning one of these cars, right? So a lot of that boils down to how much can you afford aside from buying the car, right? So there's that.
Well, listen, Andy cheats, and he cheated because he's smart and he's an engineer. So he
got an education.
No, not just that, but like when something broke with the car,
yeah, we're all dumbasses that
right?
bought the car. Yeah. Andy's a smart one.
right?
He
I
got a
mean,
college education.
well,
I'm
not just
robbing
that.
old ladies for
Hey,
cars.
I'm just saying if something went wrong on his 996, he wasn't afraid to do some of the work. So you have to
Yes,
think about that part
That
yes,
helped a
because
lot.
yes, yes.
anybody else, that steps into that realm with some of the things that he had to deal with, they
Yeah.
would have been paying a lot more money.
Well,
But
that's also
but
one
can
of the
I? No, but
one
that's a
of the.
good point.
Go
Really
ahead. Go
quick,
ahead.
sorry, Frank.
No, no,
To
good.
that point, the reason why I did the 996 over the SC, in addition to everything I just said, was also that I felt comfortable doing the maintenance on a car like that versus an SC. I just
Yeah,
didn't
but
know enough of the
the SC
product.
would have been easier. But
In retrospect,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
As an engineer now, knowing what I know, I'm like,
That's
bro,
why
the
you're an
SC.
engineer and you're not a finance guy because you should have bought
Exactly.
the SC and
Yeah,
you would have made
finance
like
guy.
$30,000 on that car.
Do not follow this chat for financial advice.
Yeah, no. This chat would yeah. This would enable you to make bad decisions. But
Yeah.
Okay,
I have
wait.
a quick
So
anecdote.
go ahead. Sorry.
Go,
So
Jay.
last week, actually this past weekend, my 944, which is in the background, was used for a photo shoot, right, at a clothing line, and they basically needed the car to be in the photos and videos to be able to launch their product line. So the reason I'm saying that is because everybody was very complimentary on the set. They were very, very nice, and the photographer came up to me and said, "This is a very nice car, the 944." And he was asking me, he asked me two questions. He said, "How much do one of these go for?" So I kind of told him. And the second question he asked me was, "If I want to get a Porsche, what should I get?" And the first thing I recommended him, as far as obviously what's your budget, what's it looking like, and from the experience standpoint, I recommended the 986 because the 986 is like it has the classic
No, there he
status
goes. There he goes.
enough,
Look at JR. Look at
but
JR.
it's still modern enough where
What?
parts are available. People can
Yeah.
fix it. I know. There's going to be debate on it. It's a mid-engine car. It's going to probably cost more to
No,
do things in the engine, but that was what I
not at
recommended
all.
him. I'm like, dude, 986.
986. I think 986 is entry, right? Along with the 944, different type of car.
I just love JR's face right now. Like, if
Different type
we
of car.
can
Well,
screenshot that thing.
he's a 944 guy.
He's
and
having
I'm
a crisis right now.
I'm a 986 guy. I'm a mid-engine guy.
You guys should have said this before we decided to make this a topic. I would have just said, like, no, we're skipping this whole episode. I'm not dealing with the 986 conversation. Even though technically the 986 was my first Porsche I ever drove. Actually, the first and the second. Base was the first car I ever drove. I didn't even know how to drive manual, and at least it was good enough where I didn't stall the car.
So how was it? How was the experience?
Oh, I mean, so for me, even though I was coming from a non-Porsche world, the sound was amazing. Kind of what got me into the convertibles.
Yeah.
The induction sound because it had the little intake right here,
Yeah,
and when
right
you went over
behind you.
4,000 RPMs, it sung. I was in Virginia at the time. I think I was like 21, 22. So I was test driving the car. And no, it was really nice. Second time was a Boxster S in Asheville, North Carolina. And another really, really great drive in the mountains. And so I hear you. The only thing is like, I just feel like with if you got a Cayman Boxster, it's harder for you to go back sometimes and appreciate the older things, right? So
Understood.
Not necessarily. Because I went back.
Me too.
And I got the air cooled.
Yeah.
Me too.
You know.
And I was just gonna say that the 996, the first thing I wanted to do was go into like a 964
Yeah.
because those were quote unquote cheap, and now they became expensive. I couldn't do it, but if I could, I'd go into a 964 or an SC if I could. Yeah, absolutely.
What I want to find out is, for instance, a guy like Kurt, right? A younger guy that went into a really modern car, which is the Cayman, and then got an 85 944. Like, dude, how was that?
Kurt's face is still not centered. You can barely see his chin. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Hey,
better?
Captain Kurt.
Captain Kurt.
Yeah, we gotta see
All
those
right.
bars, baby. Go ahead.
So I think it's a totally different experience. They both have their pros. I love driving them both, but I don't know, the 944 is just so much more enjoyable. It's analog.
Interesting.
It's like riding with a typewriter. I mean, it's probably slower.
Look,
You don't have autocorrect, but it's just when you
Look,
get it
look,
correct,
look.
it's just perfect.
JR, you
You
have
can't
my
do no
surprised
hello.
Kurt
wrong
knows
by
what
me,
a
JR
strip
Kurt.
miner
hello.
You
is.
can't do no wrong by me moving
And
forward.
then
Yeah.
Thank you,
to
Kurt.
add,
Thank you, Kurt.
that's why I think both recommendations, the
Hold on,
986 and
Kurt.
the
Hold on, Kurt.
There you
944,
go.
are great. And then the other thing that I want to add is don't be scared of the convertible. A lot of people want the Cayman because they don't like the convertible, but you can get a much better deal on a Boxster. And just like JR
Oh
said,
yeah,
that sound, man, that
the
sound.
sound.
Right, Andy, you
Yeah.
agree,
Boxsters are
right? It's that
ridiculously more
convertible
expensive. It's so
sound.
stupid.
Man, yeah, absolutely. Yes, it was annoying. I had to change every single component of that convertible top, all from nut to bolt, at least once when I owned my 996. But the sound, the experience, it's something about just dropping the top, especially here in South Florida. Just like the weather lends itself for it when it's not the summer. But it's amazing. Yeah, and you can hear the sound. I love that. I love that. I absolutely love. And yet, dude, the price on a 996, even to this day,
Yeah.
modern, even as
Look at
crazy as
like
the prices are, you can get a
24.
good deal on a 996
Yeah.
manual
Yeah.
3-pedal convertible over a coupe.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
almost half the price,
Now,
or
I
at least
will.
40% less.
So one point that I will agree on with the 986 at least, okay? So it being in my 914 and having the engine so close, right? So close right behind you,
Different.
it's actually to me better than the 911 because the 911 you got a whole nother set of seats and it's a little bit further back. So I mean, if it's entry level Porsche and we're talking about getting into the brand and falling in love, I think one of the ways you fall in love is with the engine sound the most. And so
Yeah.
if the 986 is like right there, right?
It's the
Right
flat.
there.
It's a flat six. It's a
Look,
flat
am
six.
I
with
the only one that doesn't really pay attention to the engine noise?
Yes.
I'm gonna get a lot of
What
dude.
is
Yes.
Okay,
wrong with
Most definitely.
you?
hear me out. Hear
What
me
is
out.
wrong
Nah.
with
Because
you?
you
Hear
have
me
hair
out.
over your ears. That's why you need to
Dude,
pin
who
it
is this
back and
guy?
put it
And
in a
why?
pony. Man
Okay.
bun, something else. Wear a hat.
Listen.
Samurai,
Listen.
get the samurai pin.
He doesn't listen to the
Listen.
sound of his Porsche.
For me, it's about the driving experience. I don't know. I mean, the sound, yeah, it's cool, and all, but it's like it's how the car drives.
So this past weekend, as you guys know, I took two of my cars to Motor Enclave, and I chose to drive the 914 over. I let my friend drive the 997. 997 is excellent, especially over 4,000 RPMs when the Vario cam
I love
opens
that
up.
sound.
Yeah, all
But
of
Yeah,
them
I
are.
yeah.
promise
All
you,
of them
I
are.
enjoy nothing more than listening to my air cooled, the engine
Yeah.
right here to that sound is just so like relaxing and it's so close and intimate. Like it's half the driving experience is just listening to the engine, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the Vario cam, you just made the mention. The M96 and 97 motor, like I'm an apologist for it because I know a lot of people give it crap for the IMS, the bore scoring issues, blah. There's a bunch of stuff that Porsche was figuring out water cooling at that time. But those engines are very of the time. The technology, the Vario cam, the way that those engines breathe, the way that they're naturally aspirated, the way they produce power and torque is very of the period. And it's becoming, I think, Kurt, you tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I feel like a lot of the younger generations are seeing that platform as the nostalgia, the car I grew up with, my dad drove, or I had as a
Yeah.
kid, and they
It's
want
something
that
they
experience.
saw. Yeah, it's something
Yeah,
they
and that's
saw.
the experience they want as their
Yeah.
beginner entry level into the brand. And it's a great engine, honestly. Imagine having a 986 or a 987.1 or .2, even with the DFI engines. That's right there. That's a
Yeah.
great experience, I
Well,
think.
the second car that I got was the 981, like Mr. Sport Chrono over here. I got the 981S, and same deal, man. I'm in love with that car. It's more modern. It's the more modern
Yeah.
car. It's a 2014, so it's still a 10-year-old car, but it was a one-owner car. That one costs a little more, but it's not an entry level. I was already bitten by the bug. I wanted more. So like what you guys were talking about, you don't get the GT3 and then you have nothing to aspire to.
Right.
So I bought a cheap 986. I fell in love with the car. Still have the car. I still do mods to the car. I took the car to Georgia on Tail of the Dragon, and I had a blast on that Boxer. So and it performed amazing in the mountains. But the 981 is the newer car, still mid-engine. It's still you have all the sounds and all the vacuum and all the intake, everything right there behind you. And then the last one was the 911, right? So the 911 is a little different. I got a great deal on it. I don't know what it is with me and people dying and me getting their cars and stuff. But okay, so story on that car.
Somebody else died?
Right?
Okay,
Yes.
I know the story of Frank's car.
Frank is driving through your neighborhoods, right, and looking at cars, and when he does, surprise, arsenicking your food, and oh, by the way, I got $2,500 for your $30,000 Porsche. We got it now, Frank.
Listen, so it doesn't happen anymore, right? The way I got that car, the price point, and it was horrendous. The car was horrendous, and we'll talk more about it when we talk about like the mods. Should you mod your cars or not? You know, at some point you got to make that decision, right? It was a race car, like a straight up race car. The owner had it from 96 to 2021 when he went back to his country to pass away. He was already older, lived his life. Javon helped me find the guy. And I did a video dedicated.
The most important question. The most important question. Did you pay sticker price?
No.
Or did you lowball?
No. I totally lowballed it.
That's the king of lowballers, bro.
Listen.
Okay,
I'll tell you, I got no problem. I got no problem telling you guys how much I paid for it. I paid $22,000 for that car. $22,000 for that.
It didn't look like that. It didn't look like that.
No.
It didn't look like that though. You got that's the caveat. Big answer.
And by the way, Frank got the car. You know, people might think he got it years ago. No, he got the car a couple years ago.
Yeah,
or
3-4 years ago, right?
I built it in 6 months. I built it in 6 months.
You built it in 6 months. I remember when we first saw the car. I saw that car, and maybe JR, with your technology, you put up a picture of how it looked like. We used to make fun of that car. Like, Frank, why? We can't believe you bought that thing, right? And we used to call it Racing Alfresco.
Remember what his wife's reaction was the funniest thing?
We used to call that car Racing Alfresco.
Oh, man. I remember her face. I remember her face when they dropped it off. Number one, it was loud. It was so loud. It had headers and 2 little nubby exhausts. That's it. So it was so loud. So the guy, I was afraid to drive it. So the guy puts it into the driveway. And my wife, I think I have a video somewhere, and she's just staring at the car, just kind of shaking her head. And I'm like, babe, we bought a race car. Like, we bought a race car.
It was rough.
It was rough.
I've seen pictures.
It was
That's pretty bad.
It was rough.
But wait, hold on. Are we really telling?
I would have bought a 996 all day.
Right. Say, hold on. Is that really what we're telling viewers, that like go find the most beat up 911 you can find?
So in my experience, right? Like I've met like Frank, like you all guys, like I've met really, really good friends in the Porsche community, and the first thing they tell me, and I think you guys will share the sentiment, was buy the most expensive one you can afford.
Yeah,
right?
I will agree with that when it comes to Porsches. Yeah, because usually there's a couple other things. Number one, check the sun visor for lipstick, right? If they ever put the sun visor down, it's good. Always buy a girl's car. Number two,
I know what he was going with that.
Number
or
two,
a dentist.
Yeah, because if you don't have Mr. Sport Chrono freaking dumping the clutch at the stoplight, breaking axle.
Okay. Here's a question for y'all. Would you buy a car from Kurt?
No.
I don't buy a car from Kurt.
Nope.
Everything that was gonna break already broken was replaced.
See, he has a good point.
I
He has a
stress
good point.
tested it.
Okay, fair.
So and then number two, always if it has like an aftermarket entertainment system or has some type of Bluetooth, I always check for the names that are in there for the person that had it. Like my car, my 997, I had Dr. Jorge in there. I was like, sweet, dentist or MD.
Yeah.
Wait, that means
Dr. Jorge wasn't putting it on the track.
No, the reason why I'm biased is I want somebody.
He be a doctor and he's like Captain Kurt. Kurt's a pilot. And
he's a pilot.
He's dumping clutches and shit.
Well, listen. I could tell that my previous owner was a dentist, right? Which is
Right.
fine. And so the thing is, with those type of
And mine was
people, they have
Wait,
money
did your
for.
car have bite marks on it or something?
at teeth.
No.
But you were so confident.
But they're doing the maintenance, all the maintenance, anything that
Yeah.
comes up or whatever. You don't have.
Yeah.
It's like the same conversation of when people always would buy. They're going to buy an Audi, right? They go, "Oh, I'm gonna buy an A4," right? Never buy an A4 Audi used ever in your life because the person that bought that car could barely afford just to make the payments, and they get the car, and then they have to do an oil change every 3,000 to 5,000 miles,
Yeah.
and then the
And it's
oil
like
change is like $200.
$500.
And they don't have money for that, so then they let it go to 7, 8, 9,000 miles, and then you get
Well, the
oil
same
like
thing with
engine
the
sludge.
same thing with the Porsche.
Yep.
Same thing. The Porsche, if you take it to an independent, they're gonna charge you $350 to $400 to change that oil, right?
Yeah, but that goes back, like to the point we made earlier. It's you trying to find the best car you could find for the budget you have, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like. But having said that, a big part of looking for the best car is also understanding the history of the vehicle, understanding what happened to it, who owned it, how did they own it,
Yeah.
how many people owned it, the accident history stuff. Some people are not too big on that. Some people want a clean car.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent. It just depends on how the vehicle runs. Going to an earlier point than somebody made, I like to get my feet into the car. I have a hard time personally buying a car completely remote. I got to go out there, see it, drive it, feel it, take it up to speed, hit the brakes, feel how the chassis is tuned up.
Oh
Those
no,
things
man!
to me matter.
You gotta
My
wing
last
it.
three
You
cars-
gotta wing it, man.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
My
I
last
gotta
three
roll-
cars
you
I
gotta
bought
roll
them
the dice.
sight unseen.
You gotta roll the
I
dice.
You
can't
gotta
do that.
remember.
That's why
can't
you
do
only
it.
have one. That's why you
That's
only
why I
have
only
one.
have
You gotta roll the dice.
Remember the
I can't.
Azurite? Remember the Azurite blue?
Well, I only got one.
944. I bought off
That
of.
Emilio bought.
Hmm?
Emilio bought it, right? Your Azurite?
Hmm?
Hey, is
The Azurite.
Is that mellow yellow behind Andy?
Yeah.
That is
man.
behind Mellow Yellow.
Hey, mellow yellow.
This chat
Well,
has
Well,
That is
who took
Javon's-
that picture? Who took that picture?
Mr. Sparkroto.
The captain took that picture. Beautiful picture, man.
Back to the
Nice.
point, though, what Andy's bringing up. I bought the 944. We thought it was Copenhagen, but it was Azurite blue, actually, 5-bank bucket paint, whatever. And I bought that off of what is it? One of
Be
those.
careful,
auction
JR.
shops.
He's going to watch this episode.
With
I don't know.
you're
I know.
talking-
No, it's fine. But what I'm
you're
saying
talking
is,
the one with the white rims.
Oh.
The silence is deafening.
you know where the white? Do you know where the white rims came from?
Oh dear Lord! I hope I never see them again.
I don't know.
Oh,
but
he's
I'm
going to
glad
blame
they're
me.
gone.
He's going to blame me.
Javon's fault. Javon told me to do him white the whole time. He's like, I think
What?
white's a good color off of the blue. It was Javon.
I get blamed as
He
always.
never said anything.
What
He
the
never
hell?
Said anything about that?
Listen, it was a different look, and maybe it could have been tied together a little bit better. Maybe a racing stripe.
Or it could have just been painted better.
Listen, I had to try. No,
It looked like you painted it with whiteout. You know, the whiteout. That's what it.
it was supposed to be temporary, and you guys want me to come down, so I didn't have time to get all that done. See, that's why I won't come down now. That's why I won't come till all my cars are done and in good, great. I don't.
That's where he draws the line.
That's where he draws the line.
Yeah.
Come on, JR. They were
You made
nice.
fun of me.
They were nice. They were nice.
Yeah.
They
I
were-
mean,
they are.
the
As you can
rims.
see, with my genuine reaction,
That's
The
my
rims
genuine
are nice.
reaction. What? That was.
Stop raising your hand, Kurt. You're blocking my face, damn it. Jesus Christ.
All you see is this. All you see is this on JR's face.
Well, anyway.
Oh, we're having too much.
the
Hey,
point
Andy,
is,
how we doing? How we doing
I
on
bought
time,
that
buddy?
car. I bought that
33
car
minutes.
that way. Okay, yep. I bought that car that way. I bought the 997 same way up in Orlando. I just flew up and picked up the car. I actually the 996. I drove to Sarasota, sight unseen, and just bought the car. And then
Gotta roll
the
the dice,
914.
man.
The 914. We
Oh,
never
the
looked at that
914.
car. The car was like just basically done already before I just had to pick it up, And
Yeah, you had to pick it up. Frank and I had to wait like 5 hours for your
I
ass.
have a regular job.
And
I'm
watch
sorry.
you stall
Okay.
it. And watch you stall it. The
Why?
first time you drove it twice.
My
We're
first
like,
time.
yeah, go JR, go. Whoa,
Listen,
JR.
it was my first time with a
whoa.
Cape Clutch. First time with a Cape Clutch.
Gusto.
Okay. Anyway, we're getting off the topic. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get back to
I
what
think
we
I
were
think
really
the
supposed to
914
discuss.
purchases that you two had, I think that's an episode in itself, and I want to
Yeah,
bring
we got to talk
I
about
want
Oh
to
that.
bring
yeah,
the
yeah,
guy who
yeah,
bought
yeah,
Frank's
yeah,
car
yeah,
on
yeah,
board.
yeah. That it's a great story, man.
That's a great
I
story.
I listen just to kind of summarize. I think what we've said, right? And if I miss something, you guys could just rewind it and figure it back out. But definitely get the best car you can afford for
Yes.
your budget.
Yeah.
Try to
Yes.
find something with good maintenance history. Understand what maintenance looks like and budget that into your pricing. Right? Don't just assume this is what I can afford. Bake in the price of the maintenance into it. Find the experience you're looking for. Right? At the end of the day, what is it that you want? Do you want air cooled? Do you want mid engine? Do you want rear engine? Do you want convertible? Do you want manual? Do you want the modern PDK? What are you looking for? I think that's important. I think that's really huge for you to figure out and find those. At least those three things are important, and then from there you can at least start narrowing the field down because Porsche is such a huge brand.
Correct.
I mean, you touched on transaxle. There's a lot more than just a 944. There's so many other transaxle cars that Porsche has done.
Whoa.
We didn't even talk about them.
No. No one's buying. No one's buying a
No.
928 for their first Porsche. Nobody is buying a 928 for their first Porsche.
A 924 though would be good.
A
I know it's a
924,
little
yeah,
slow, but
Volkswagen
I like
cars.
924s.
You know the thing about it with the 924 is I just don't feel like it's enough community around to support
No,
the
yeah.
different engines and
It's
stuff like
too
that.
much of a
Those engines
Volkswagen.
work. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
and that's a good segue to the last point I was going to make, which is the community. At the end of the day, what kind of community are you looking for? For me, it was about getting into yeah, exactly. It's air cooled. You want to get into that. There's such a huge community for air cooled because you're like a curator of the car. For me, it's getting into this space, the M96, M97 engines. I like that style. I want to talk to people who drive those cars. I like the semi-modern stuff. And some folks want something different.
Yeah.
That's the whole beauty of the brand. There's so many flavors.
Yeah.
We always think of Porsche, you think 911. There's a lot more to it than that.
You're gonna wind up with more than one. I
Oh, yeah.
promise you that.
No matter what.
You're gonna wind up
100%.
with more than one, and it's
100%.
not by sometimes it's your friends giving you bad advice. Not bad
Javon.
advice like
Javon.
you're
Where's
gonna get the
Javon?
wrong car.
Where's Javon?
Yeah.
I'll point it
Javon-
in somewhere.
The second week in a row, I get blamed for shit.
Listen, I didn't want a 914. All right,
You started this shit.
and I ended up with one. But anyway, that's a whole other.
We gotta have a whole episode on bad
It's
influences.
a sensitive
It's just
topic. It's a sensitive.
One other thing I want to note when you're looking up like your cost of ownership, right, and you're talking about parts, you want to make sure that you take your Porsche part numbers and search them on the internet because they are shared with other automakers. Like for instance,
yeah.
the reference sensors that you have on your car, those are BMW E30 reference sensors,
Yeah.
which you can get at half the price, which you would pay
but
for
you
the
learn
Porsche
that. You learn that as you go, and that's
Correct.
gonna be one of our episodes. Is should you wrench on your own Porsche, and how much? How far do you? There's people that can't even check the air in their tires, and there's people that can drop down their transmission.
There's people like Javon who.
Well, you got to take that into account, right?
I'm just a
he has a
dumbass
hammer.
with-
I think his only tool is a hammer for the whole Porsche.
This is why he's a bad influence because he's never had to sweat over his own car. I figured it out. I got you figured out.
He has models sitting on his car, and I'm here underneath the car changing the oil.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just not. Look, and this will be for another episode, but I'm just not blessed. I'm not mechanically inclined like that, like you guys, and I envy that. You know?
No, he just
musically
likes to make you
inclined.
buy
Just
cars.
musically inclined. That's all. He makes music, not turn
That's
wrenches.
it. That's all I do.
You could play
Which,
a
by the
mean
way, how are
Escort.
we on time? Are we good or are we?
37, we could call it there, yeah.
Yeah, we could
start winding it down.
So yeah, Andy gave a good summary and a wrap up. What did we take away from this? 986, 944. Is that what we're saying?
986, 987.
986.
Gen 1
Cayman.
Cayenne. We didn't mention that.
Oh,
Really
Cayenne are
reliable.
good too.
With the
Cayenne are
VR6.
good.
That was just
Yeah,
such a
that's a
great
whole.
buy.
That's a whole other.
That's
Yeah.
a different animal, but it's
Yeah.
such a
Now-
great buy.
Because now you're talking SUV. You know.
But
That
I
was
think
what got
it
me back
doesn't
into
matter
Porsche.
what you buy. It's just don't stretch your budget. If you can afford a 996,
Yeah.
don't try to stretch it to like a rebuilt title 997 with 500. No, get a nice one because otherwise you're gonna eat that cost of maintenance. And
Yeah.
make sure, let's
Yeah.
say if you have 20 grand, don't buy a car that's 20 grand. Buy a car that's 16, 17. So
7,500.
you have a little bit of cash left to change stuff that you're gonna have to change like in any other car.
Yes.
But just
yes.
buy the car close to the list price. Don't try to frank it up and lowball the crap out of people because you might end up beat up in the alley or shot or stabbed or something because
Or you run into their son at a breakfast place and they give you a big hug because
And have
you
the most
saved the
awkward
car.
moment ever.
there was too many people around. He really wanted to do something else, but he chickened out. Okay, there was just too many people around. That was the problem. Then, okay, he's like, "Oh, hug this more."
I'm gonna hug him.
As we wrap up, I know.
Did he try to squeeze the life out of you? Like,
No,
thank
no,
you
no.
so much. Like, was it Jim Carrey on Dumb and Dumber? When he stick the guy's head? Woo! You must be.
All right,
So listen,
Jay,
as we
what were
wrap
you gonna
up,
say?
as we wrap up, I know Frank has been dying to do shout outs, right? So
Yes.
Yeah.
all right, Frank, take it away, buddy.
So, all right. So now that you guys can hear me, and we'll close it up with this story, right? So JR will show the picture at some point, right? So I'm in Best Buy getting my microphone, and right next to me is Jack Doherty, YouTuber guy, right?
Name drop.
And
Which you're a big fan of.
Hey,
You watch all the time.
Oh, I do not like. Sorry. And I was looking around for his bodyguard to see if he was going to try me, but anyway.
Frank was
So
ready with his black belt.
I'm looking for a mic. And I was standing there for 10 minutes, and they roll up and they're shooting a video. So I'm in the background of the video, and they grab a mic, and I'm like, well, these guys know what they're doing. So I just turned around and I grabbed the same mic that they got, right? And that's the one that you can hear me on now. So that being said, this is the official shout outs where everybody can understand, and our future sponsors will be able to appreciate, right?
How sure are you they're gonna sponsor this?
Because they're gonna love this stuff, right?
Okay.
So our first official shout out is to Imperial Moto in Miami, coffee shop, cafe, motorcycles, Porsche cars. The owner there, Matt, hosts a lot of events there. Last week, 2 weekends ago, he was the DJ. There's burritos there, DJs, cars, friends, good atmosphere. And this Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving, is the Frank and Viv second annual Vintage Vices, Cars and Coffee, Frank and Viv, second annual, post Thanksgiving. And next week, we got our first guest, right? Our first very special guest, big in the community. And it's going to be a great show. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And like I said, if you guys are liking what we do, please like, comment, subscribe, because we want to keep putting out these videos for you guys. And it's always fun to have these discussions with friends. We make fun of each other. We give you guys information, and it's a good time. So remember, subscribe.
Frank, when is that? When is that event again?
Which one? The Frank and Viv?
Yeah.
Frank and Viv, yeah.
What's the date?
It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So this weekend.
Ah, dang it.
Yeah, it's hosted by Vintage Vices. So I'm wearing their Benz.
Sure. Now, and also I will note that Imperial Cafe was my first Porsche event in Miami. Without them, I would have never met any of you guys. So it is definitely not a new venue, but it is a venue that is very valuable and important.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
yes.
We thank them always for doing those things. Thanks, Frank, for the wrap up.
Awesome. Man.
All right. So see you guys on the next one.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's
Thank
go.
you.
Deuces.
Take
All right,
care.
boys. Have a good one. Have a good night. Love y'all.
Yep. Night.
Peace.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yep.
Kurt said he left with such a quickness.
He's already eating turkey.
Deuces.
All right, guys.
Yep. Later.